Yes, yes, yes. Happy Friday Eve, and welcome back to another edition of the Purple Rain Podcast. The
Yes,
first
sir.
episode of the season, I'm going to say, of the 2026 NFL season, as training camp is now underway. Episode 428, the Gary Baxter episode, Ronald Darby, a Latavius Murray, a Mike Davis, Terrence West episode, Tom Zibikowski edition of the Purple Rain Podcast. Thank you for coming through, spending your Thursday evening here. If you are part of the replay gang, maybe it's a Monday afternoon. I'm sorry, a morning, afternoon, a dusk. Who knows? Thank you. I mean, you can comment below if you are part of the replay gang. If you've not liked the video already, please like it. And if you've not subscribed already, please subscribe to talk in the chat. Let us know how you feel, because Ravens football, it is back. It is back indeed. And if you want to see the latest and greatest, you can follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. This guy right here on Instagram or on X, Sutton Def. Me, Instagram simply as10.prod, X simply as10. All right, enough of the housekeeping. I kind of just want to talk right in the ball. Ravens football is back.
It is.
Pads aren't back on yet, but we're done with the speculation. We're seeing 101s. We're seeing 7-on-7s. We're seeing 11-on-11s. We're seeing plays. We're seeing incompletions. We're seeing interceptions, touchdowns, jump balls. You name it. Ravens football is back in Owings Mills at the Castle, and I couldn't be happier. I may not sound like it, but I am happy. Believe that. I know you're happy as well. But yeah, Ravens football is back. We're talking about it all here on episode 428 of the Purple Rain Podcast. How are you feeling, though? First off, I mean, football is back. I'm guessing pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Feeling fantabulous, Alex. I mean, listen, football's only been back, officially for me for, the last 48 hours. We've gotten 2 days of training camp so far, and it's definitely scratched that itch, right? I mean, I know we haven't even gotten to a preseason game yet, but every single report that I hear of oh, this rookie's doing this, or oh, this veteran is doing that and he's really impressing, I'm just man, I used to pray for times like this. I did. I really did. And mainly back in December, I was, because I knew that I wasn't going to get any more Ravens football for the next 7 to 8 months, something crazy like that. But now that we are officially back, man, Alex, I cannot tell you enough how happy I am, how ecstatic I am to watch some Ravens football. I cannot wait to see these preseason games when they're wearing these Next Flight jerseys and we make it official. We christen the stadium with those Next Flight jerseys. I can't wait, man. Like you said, we got some things to talk about when it comes to training camp. But before we dive deep into that, I want to give a special shout out to the replay gang. Yes, because we always do this podcast live. It's always live, right? So shout out to the live chat, but real quick, special shout out to the replay gang. If you're not watching this live, salute to you. Make sure you please leave a comment on this video on what you're thinking so far about these 2026 Ravens through 2 days, 48 hours of training camp. Let us know down below. Also, please be sure, if you're the replay gang, to hype this video. That helps us out a ton. If you want to support the channel, you can do that easily just by liking the video and hyping the video. That's it. And subscribing. Yeah. Okay, let's get into the live chat here. Who's here in the live chat? I got to give a shout out to our members first and foremost. Some members of the channel. Ashley is in the chat. What's going on, Ashley? Says, good evening, beautiful people. Good evening, Ashley. Thank you so much for coming through. We also have JR, another member in the chat. What up, what up, what up? Appreciate you for coming through. Let me see. We got Void in the chat giving the salute. Salute to you, Void. I saw your comment before we went live here. Don't think I didn't see it. I saw it, though. I saw it. Sean Coles is in the chat. Says, good to see y'all. Good to see you, Sean. Christian is in the chat. Says, Jack Wimby. Oh, we're going to get into it. Don't even worry about it, Christian. We're going to get into it, okay? Let me see. Dylan Paul is in the chat as well. Says, what's up, fellas? What's going on, Dylan?
Yo.
Our very first giveaway winner was Dylan Paul a couple of years ago. Thank you so much for coming through. I can't even remember what jersey we got him, but we got him something nice. I'm sure he still rocks it to this day. Shout out to Dylan. He's a longtime supporter of the show. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and I see my guy, our guy. Jason is in the chat. Huddle It Up Films in the chat. What's going on, Huddle It Up Films? What up? Appreciate you for coming through as always. Mr. Jason is in the building. And I see one more member. Darlene is in the chat as well. She says, good evening, all. Hello, Darlene. Thank you so much. Good evening to you as well. All right. And Asmodeus. Asmodeus is in here too. What up, Asmodeus? I would like to note 25 people voted on the poll and no one voted for Bateman. All right, so we're starting the Bateman slander early. It's
Damn, I'm
okay.
wearing my Bateman shirt today too. That's crazy.
It's
Okay, all
crazy,
right.
isn't it? See, this
Okay.
is what they
All right.
doing. This is what they doing. Thea Pennell says, what up, Simply? You looking good, bro?
Thank you. Um, I'll look different come next episode because this will be gone. But hey, I'll take that. Thank you. Thank you.
You're going clean shaven again?
Yeah, restarting. We're gonna restart the
Mm,
face. We'll see how it looks.
got you, got you. Okay, okay.
Might have to get carded next time I come into the chat, so we'll see.
Hey, that
Yeah.
starts to be a good feeling as you get older. I'm not gonna lie to you, Alex. When I get carded, I'm out at the bar, I'm out at the grocery store, I'm buying beer or something like
Like,
that.
there you
They're
go.
like, "Sir, can we see your ID?" I'm like, "You absolutely
Here you go,
can."
two more for y'all.
Yeah, exactly. You absolutely can. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to you, Thea Pennell, for coming through. Also saw my guy RJ in the chat says, listening to my guys from my wife country, British Virgin Islands. Oh, shoot.
It's nice
Shout out to you,
there.
RJ. Is
I
it?
think I
I've
was
never
there
been.
last year. It's nice. Like, once you go out of the country, you never want to swim in the oceans here. If I can't see my feet about 2 feet down, I'm not swimming in that ocean. I'll dip
Mm.
the toes in. I gotta see what's around me because man, the water is beautiful there. Absolutely
Is it
beautiful.
like the type of water where like you can like stand over top of it and like look down and like see your
Yes,
reflection?
like you could
Yeah.
see like little minnows, swimming right next to you. If there was, a bigger fish, you could see that as well.
That's
Beautiful.
dope. Oh yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, RJ, for coming through. He's another Purple Rain pioneer. Been watching for a long time. Thank you so much, RJ. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into what we came here to get into today, Alex. Ravens training camp is well underway. We've got 2 days under our belt. Lots to talk about. So sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink, snack, or vice, and let's get down to business. First order of business, Alex, I haven't talked to you all damn week. I got to ask you a question. How are you
Yes.
feeling about Nnamdi Madubuike returning to practice, not just for the first day, but he showed up today as well? That's 2 consecutive practices. How are you feeling about Nnamdi returning?
It's a blessing. It is a blessing because, like we talked about, we didn't think he'd be playing another down in the NFL, especially for our Baltimore Ravens. We thought, we'd have to have that tough conversation of what do you do with that contract? Because, you signed him this big deal, he gets hurt, and he's never going to play again, but he's been cleared. He's practicing, obviously ramping up, but it's nothing short of a miracle, like I've said. Like, I'm so happy that he's back there for him, his family, how hard he worked back to get there, and for the team. There would have been a huge hole just like there was last year without Nnamdi Madubuike, and it's really no coincidence we go to a bottom 5 defense when you lose a player like him. You take Chris Jones off of those Chiefs Super Bowl winning teams, and you can make an argument they don't win them. These defensive tackles are so crucial to the teams, and Madubuike is that to us. So the fact he's been out there both days, been practicing, having him around, has got to be just great, not only for him, but the team. I saw them in the interviews and the press conferences talking how much, happy to see him out there and just, keeps the morale up. How can you not be happy? How can you not be excited for what the season has to offer? And right now, it's all been good news. We aren't like other teams in our division fighting each other. Obviously, we'll have some heated battles, but we aren't ripping each other's helmets off, throwing them. Yeah, we aren't doing that. Friendly competition, iron sharpen iron. But right now, Madubuike back. How can you not be excited? How can you not be happy for the guy? Because what he's gone through the past 360 some days, I cannot imagine the hell it must have been. So you see him right here, coming on out, and then being just greeted by the fans, young kids. No better feeling in the world.
Yeah. Nnamdi Madubuike coming back is like, it's an understatement to say that like it's huge for this Ravens team. I said a lot about it on the last couple of episodes of the show, Alex, where I was saying, this makes Jesse Minter's defense so much easier to call, right? Because you can, like, if you're Jesse Minter, you can get way more creative with your looks up front, right? On different down and distances for the offense. You can honestly take a lot more risks. Lighter lines. If you want to do that, have more guys in the box or just in coverage in general. With Nnamdi Madubuike holding it down next to Travis Jones in the trenches or Calais Campbell, I mean, what are we really talking about, Al? I mean, it's just going to make it so much easier for Jesse Minter to do his job. And I say this again because when Jesse Minter got hired to be the Ravens head coach, we had no idea whether or not Nnamdi Madubuike was going to play another snap of football in his life, right? But now that we have the news that he is going to be ready for week 1, that changes everything. And nobody in the rest of, national media, they're not talking about that. They're not thinking about that right now. They're really not. They're not seeing it like that. And I get it. Maybe Nnamdi Madubuike, he's not the best defensive tackle in the league, but he's damn sure top 10. And when you put him next to a sleeper like Travis Jones, and then you also have Trey Hendrickson on the outside to complement that. And oh, by the way, Kyle Hamilton just floating around, the quarterback's biggest nuisance. I don't understand how you're really going to be able to stop this Ravens defense on paper, because we got to see it on Sundays at 1:00, Alex, right? We got to see it on Sundays. But on paper, I just don't see how this Ravens defense could fail, especially with Nnamdi Madubuike back in the fold.
It is July 30th, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut because I do agree with you, but I'm not going to have those words come out of my mouth because we've seen crazier things happen. We are the Ravens. We are the Real Housewives of the Baltimore Ravens, and we don't know what's going to happen. But like you said, when you put it on paper, I think it could be an offensive coordinator's nightmare. This defensive line could keep these coaches up at night because you can throw just different sets at all these offenses and how you're going to respond. And you brought up all those guys. I'll tell you what, Roquan Smith looked like he got a little bit leaner over the offseason. I'll tell you that right now. And I've kind of been one of his biggest critics, but it was refreshing to hear him say, I'm done with the talk. And he wants to show more on the field. And he said he's not much of a talker, which, by the way, that is a lie. Roquan, you are one of the biggest talkers on the team, but let's get that talking. Let's see more action.
A chatty patty.
Literally, that's what he was last year. Maybe Calais just take over the pregame speeches because I can't bear to see number 0. But if he can return back to that 2023 form, hopefully one of the linebackers maybe takes the next step next to him, we're in a good spot. But it's just a plethora of talent on this defense, and we haven't even talked about the cornerbacks either. We haven't talked about your Nate Wiggins, your Humphreys, your Awuzies, and that's kind of all of a blessing because we can focus on this front 4, everything around there. But Nnamdi Madubuike, you have been missed. I've missed your face. I've missed you just on this line. And you say top 10. I might say top 5. Depending how you want to look at these D tackles, if you can give you that production in the passing defense as well. A couple of passes batted. Who knows? But yeah, definitely top 10. You can make a case for that. And it shouldn't be an argument.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not an argument there. Again, don't forget to join the Rain Gang by liking the video and subscribing to the channel as well. We have put out loads of content, even in just the last 48 hours. So catch up on all that if you have not already. But there's going to be a lot more where that came from right here at PRP. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Maybe join our membership if you want some of those extra perks that you see down below and that little ticker underneath me and Alex. Now, I do want to bring up a comment here from Afia. She makes a good point. I didn't even notice this. She says, I saw they made the tunnel closer so the kids can easily, get their hands slapped by the players at both sides. Like, I noticed that yesterday. They used to have it way wider. So, you had to go to one side, then go to the other side. You just had to pick one side. And I'm sure a lot of kids probably felt slighted by that. I know it's not really news, but I just thought that was kind of cool that the Ravens did that. Anywho's, I think it's time to go ahead and get into the actual training camp highlights themselves here. I want to go ahead and bring this up on screen. This video is chopped up by none other than our guy Simply AS10. And it's kind of just some highlights here. It's just some highlights of what happened in day 2 of training camp. And I want to go one by one, Alex, in terms of standout plays/players. And I want to get your takes and then also my takes on them as well. Now, what we're looking at right here is the play of the day. Jacoby Lane made the play of the day. I saw you reposted the video, your edit that you made. It was awesome. I was hyped. The Ravens flock was hyped. Let me just read through a couple notes right here. Then I want your reaction to this. Jacoby Lane made the catch of the day on a deep ball from Lamar Jackson. He high pointed the football in traffic, and he continues to stack impressive catches or practices after flashing on day 1. Jesse Minter later said the next step for Jacoby Lane is continuing to earn Lamar Jackson's trust. Alex, what was your takeaway from Jacoby Lane's performance, especially that catch today?
Is this what we were asking for when we drafted him. We know we're not going to get the separation, but we know we're going to get the deep ball. We're going to get the flashy play. And I'm just picturing myself at the bank. What is going on here, Mr. Black Daniels and Sam? Thank you.
Thank
Not
you
sure if I hope this isn't for Jacoby. I hope this is not for Jacoby.
Yeah, I hope
but I'm just
not
picturing myself on like a 3rd and goal at the bank, and you see Lamar drop back, fold it up to Jacoby Lane. He makes a touchdown grab over not one but 2 defenders.
Mm.
When I got the notification, I'm like, "Yep, there it is." That's what we're waiting for. That's what we're asking for, and we want to see it obviously in October, November, December, January, and hopefully February. But seeing it now in July, it's a good sign. I'd rather have him make these plays than not. Jacoby Lane using all of his build, strength. I think it was over Malachi Starks and was it Marlon Humphrey as well?
Marlowe. Yep.
We'll get into Marlowe. We'll get into him in a little bit.
Yeah.
But what more can you ask for? That's the flashy play. That's why you drafted him. And that's the type of plays where Lamar's like, you know what? I'm rolling around. I see Jacoby. I'm going to give him a chance. Give him a chance, and he might just come down with it. So he may be introducing himself as Lamar's new just go and get a ball guy. Kind of like what Likely was, kind of like what we've seen some receivers and tight ends be for him. He puts the ball up in the air. He's expecting you to come down with it, and he's making a good case already come day 2 in training camp.
Yeah, kind of like that F it, Jacoby's down there somewhere kind of thing,
Yep.
And that's what this looks like right here. Like, and when you look at this, like, I'm going to just pause it right here at the top. Hold on, because they kind of juiced it on the Ravens.
Yeah.
Media,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. They like made a little edit out of it. But when he goes up to get that ball, I mean, just look where his hands are at, for one. And then look where the nearest defender's head is at. That's Marlon Humphrey down here. You can't tell because he's like barely treading water on the screen right now, right? And of course, Marlon Humphrey could have maybe went up and made a play on the ball or something like that. But I'll tell you one thing, Alex. Ain't nobody climbing the ladder that high like Jacoby Lane just did. Nobody is. Nobody on the Ravens and nobody in the AFC North. I can't necessarily speak for the entire NFL, right? But nobody in the AFC North has the height and length to match what this kid is doing right here. I put on Twitter, I said that, I really loved this highlight that they put out there, but I almost wish that they would have given us like a slightly wider angle. But then I thought about it, Alex, and I said like, because I wanted to see like who exactly was in coverage and how close they were. But then I kept looking at it. I'm like, it really didn't matter who was in coverage because he just went up that high to get it. And now that Lamar Jackson knows that, okay, that's the guy who I can just kind of throw it up to on 3rd and long, whatever, right? If he's single covered, double covered, if I throw it high enough, if I put it high enough on the shelf, he can go and get it and the kids can't. That's what Lamar Jackson is looking for. That's what he had in Isaiah Likely. This gave me shades of Isaiah Likely. Alex, tell me that this wasn't reminiscent of the Isaiah Likely 4th and 7 catch against the Pittsburgh Steelers last season. It gave me those vibes, did it not?
I mean, the touchdown against the Eagles, it didn't matter at the end of the game, but he threw it up there, and only Isaiah Likely could make that catch, and he came down with it, and only Jacoby Lane can make this catch, and he came down with it. The same result, 2 different players, 2 different situations, but the guy he threw it to came down with it, and that's really all you can ask for. And then here, Tez Walker, I don't know if you see, but got the better of Marlon Humphrey. Humphrey couldn't get his fingers on the ball, and Tez Walker, see you later. There's that speed we've been talking about and have been told about, and that's getting your playmakers the ball. I mean, something we didn't see last year, and we talked about, 6 catches. It's like, well, new regime, new offensive coordinator, new head coach, maybe get him some more passes in that situation. Look, there you go. He's gone. Touchdown, Tez. And these 2, some interceptions from Awuzie and Keandre Jackson, but they're both off of Tyler Huntley. I think Tez slipped on one. I'm not going to put too much stock in this. He's coming from the backup quarterback. With all due respect, Snoop, we'll rather not see you in the game in meaningful situations, have Lamar in there, but it's good they came down with it. I mean, we've seen us drop picks, and we talked about we only had 11 last year. There's 2 on back-to-back plays. So maybe we get a couple week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hit that 11 interception mark by week 8 or 9. But it's all good things now.
Can we ask that question one more time? You remember that question you asked me last week? Let's ask it one more time.
Let's do it. All right. The Ravens defense last year had all of 11 interceptions, 18 games.
Mm-hmm.
For you and for the chat, by what game will the Ravens equal that number? So, what game will the Ravens have 11 interceptions by?
That's a good question. Put it down below in the comments section if you're part of the replay gang. It's a fabulous question to ask. I'm gonna go with, what did I say? I think I said like week 9 or 10, something like that. I'd say
It's
within
like around
10
the
weeks.
Jags area.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. I'd say within 10 weeks we can go ahead and pull that off, especially considering all of the younger and more inexperienced quarterbacks we play early on in the season, going up against the mastermind defensively, Jesse Minter, with all of these weapons that he has on defense. I'm going to go 10 weeks or under. That's what I'm going here. But listen, let us know what you think down below in the comment section, in the chat section as well. We'd appreciate that. Darius Tyrell with the super chat donation. Thank you so much, Darius. Says, loving the first down celly from Jacoby Lane. Now, I will say this. I do like the celebration, but I would have loved it if he would have got back up and kept running after that. Just like, show me you're trying to finish the play. Now, I don't know if he was in the end zone or not. Apparently not, because they didn't report that, right? But if he wasn't, or since he wasn't, he should have gotten back up and just finished the play, gotten in the end zone. Like, I don't want, you catching a big ball, coming up and doing the Zay Flowers in his rookie year. He's like, yeah, when he was still like
Against
technically
the
not
Bengals.
down by, against the Bengals, right? Like, just keep running, finish the play, right?
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's kind of the rookie, I guess, not mentality, but they still have a lot to learn from that. I think for me in that situation, I think that's coaching, and maybe who knows in these situations where if you come catch the ball and you fall down with it, plays over. We don't know. I want to think that. So it looks better for him. As Modi's here says, my take 20 interceptions, 40 sacks, 20 forced fumble recoveries, and 4 pick sixes. 20 forced fumbles?
20 forced fumbles is crazy.
That's 20 is
that's insane.
That's I can
see the 40 sacks for sure.
Right, in that area. Yeah. 20 forced fumbles.
I mean, we had 60 in 2023. So like I could see like a cool maybe 50, with Trey Hendrickson, BK back, Travis Jones pushing up the middle. Mike Green takes that next step, which we all expect him to. I could see a good 45 to 50 sacks. Now, 20 forced fumble recoveries as well. That's crazy. And 4 pick sixes, that's a lot, man. We better win the Super Bowl.
I can see Trenton Simpson getting about 3.5 to 4 as well, depending if we use him. I think he has actually a bigger role in this defense, and they'll per se use him in the Tyus Bowser role. If we remember, I think Tyus kind of would do it all, could drop into coverage, could rush the quarterback. Trenton has that athleticism, I think, to get there, and we saw it last year at points. I think he really came on at the end of the year. I'm sorry, 24 something. It's just kind of stuck in my head. That's, if you would have said like 4, I would have been cool with that. But 20?
20 is
like
a
4
lot,
pick sixes
bro.
I can get behind. I think we'll get a couple of $5 footlongs thrown our way, meatball marinaras, with some of the quarterbacks we play. But I said what I said. It's Modi's.
Yeah. He's expecting a lot of those meatball marinaras and tuna subs, but really what he's expecting is like footballs with some grease on them. That's what he's expecting, right? Like, I mean, listen, Asmodeus, I love you, but at the end of the day, those other guys, they get paid too. Okay, so I don't think that we're going to get 20 forced fumble recoveries. If we do, then shit, I mean, look, man, you're a genius, but I don't foresee that happening. The other metrics, the other stats, I can kind of see where you're coming from, but maybe not that one. Okay, Alex, you hinted at Devontae Walker. Devontae Walker today, he really shined, and I'm happy about that because I've been saying for the past couple of weeks that Tez Walker can demand this wide receiver 3 spot. So after today, I think it's kind of like a battle between Tez and Lane. Tez and Lane, like, who is going to take that wide receiver 3 spot? Who is Jesse Minter and Declan Doyle going to put on the field when the Ravens want to go 11 personnel and have 3 wide receivers on the field? Is it going to be Zay, Bate, and Tez, or is it going to be Zay, Bate, and Jacoby Lane? I don't know, but Devontae Walker did have himself a day today, caught a crossing route from Lamar, turned it into what have been roughly an 80-yard touchdown. He ran through an attempted tackle from Marlon Humphrey, like you mentioned, outran Nate Wiggins on the route, and also beat Malachi Starks to the goal line. The biggest explosive play of practice. And I think the main thing there, you hinted at his speed, right? And the main thing for me is that, like, he outran Nate Wiggins. If you didn't know, metric-wise, stat-wise, Nate Wiggins is the fastest person on the Ravens, right? Devontae Walker was a close second. Top 2, fastest Ravens. These are facts. You can Google it. Nate Wiggins, 1. Devontae Walker, 2. Tez Walker ran past Nate Wiggins today. So maybe a little bit of a chain snatching. And who's the faster player? I'm not sure. That's up for you to debate. That's up for you to decide. But the point is, Devontae Walker is really proving himself. What is this, year 3 for him or year 4?
It
One
is.
of the two. Okay, 3. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Tez Walker. I want to see a lot of him in preseason. I think he's definitely going to get that opportunity. And if he shows out, then I want to see him on Sundays.
Yeah. So you mentioned that. I think so. Nate Wiggins couldn't catch up to him. I think it was Marlon on him, and I'm still kind of a little annoyed at Marlon, but we'll get to him later. But I think we're using Tez in the ways just get him the ball. Let's see what he can do with it in his hands. Because when you get the ball to him in open play, we've seen touchdowns. We saw the one against the Giants, the 2 against the Browns, the 1 against the Steelers. That's 4 touchdowns when I think 7 catches in his career. So over 50%, he's gone for touchdowns. And they're putting him in these positions. And now if we can see, all right, well, if we get the ball to him about a 5-yard drag, he can turn it upfield and house it. It's like, well, we didn't know that. Everybody looked at him as kind of a deep ball, a deep threat. Now you have him, running short or maybe intermediate routes, and he can burn you. So it just opens up another aspect of his offense. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting to see Tez Walker taking one like that to the house. I was expecting maybe a deep ball, but I'm not complaining. Absolutely not. And now Lamar is like, all right, well, if the play is not downfield and I see Tez Walker right here, 5-yard pass can turn into a touchdown. That's good for me. I'll take some more yak.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that to me, I wasn't expecting to see that highlight today. And I saw the touchdown test. I'm like, all right, well, maybe it was, a nice catch. No, simple. And then you see, I think Malachi Starks chasing after him. He couldn't catch up. You mentioned Nate Wiggins. Nate, a little bit of our loss right there. I know we always talks about that, what he wears in the uniform. Defense hasn't had a good first couple of days, I'll tell you that. But it's still, growing and pads aren't even on. But usually the defense looks good, but Lamar and the boys have been cooking. They have been cooking these first 2 days.
I think it says more about how dialed in Lamar Jackson is, right? Because as soon as Tyler Huntley steps on the field, I mean, defense is turning they're turning the ball over and stuff like that. We're going to get to that here in a second. But no, I totally get what you're saying, man. It seems like this offense is locked in under Declan Doyle, and I cannot wait to see what they produce on Sundays. And, if the offense is locked in like this and the defense, listen, I think when the pads come out, right, you're going to see kind of like a shifting, like this normally happens, I believe, Alex. Like normally when the pads come on, there's like a little shift in the competition towards the defense's favor, right? Because they have more of an advantage there. They can kind of throw guys around, be more physical, that sort of thing. Before we get into anything else here, before we move into our next player, we have a couple of gifts here in the chat. I see 86 Ghost has gifted 1 Rain Gang membership to the viewers. Thank you so much, 86 Ghost. Let's go ahead and clap it up for him. Being Santa Claus here on this episode 428 of the Purple Rain podcast. And that one's going to Quoney8202. So shout out to you, Quoney, for becoming a member of the Rain Gang membership. And shout out to you, 86 Ghost, for distributing that membership to Quoney. Again, like I said, guys, for our memberships, lots of perks, lots of exclusive content coming out this season. Also, you can call into the show, chop it up with your boy Sutton. Let me know if you think I'm crazy about Rashad Bateman or not, right? Preferably or not. And you also qualify automatically for our free giveaways. We give away Ravens merch. We give away jerseys, all sorts of stuff. So make sure you join our channel membership if you have not already. Or if you're feeling generous like 86 Ghosts, maybe you have the spirit of giving, right? Christmas, honestly, when football season comes up, Christmas ain't too far. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I know it's July. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, a little bit ahead of my skis. I understand. But that's what I know. When football season starts, Christmas season ain't too far off. Okay. So we have another super chat donation here. This one's coming from, who's this one coming from? Let me see. Void. Shout out to Void. Appreciate you for coming through as always, dropping the 5-piece in the chat. Void says, gotta see the film on that one. Crossing routes aren't easy to guard, and it's not a lot of space between 4-3 and 4-2 40 times. You're right. It's really not. You're kind of splitting hairs there, right? It honestly depends on the day, like who's feeling better that day a lot of times. But the fact that Tez Walker is that receiver who, if you aren't accounting for him, which let's be real, nobody's going to account for Tez Walker like they are Zay Flowers, like they are Mark Andrews, hell, even a Rashad Bateman. Okay. They're just not going to do it. Tez Walker, as we've seen before, he can kind of get lost in translation, get open down the field. And once he gets a step past you, past your last defender, past your last DB, it's over with. You're not catching him. He's that fast. So I can't wait to see Tez in action. Another super chat. This one's coming from Void again. Mariah Carey is defrosting. You can kind of hear her. You can kind of hear her out in the distance. Okay, you can hear her in the distance. She's coming. She's coming. She's about to make another killing here this Christmas season. Thank you so much, Void. You don't like Mariah Carey? What's going on?
I do. Just, that song is just, oh my gosh. It just reminds me of like 4:30. The sun's already down. It's dark outside. That is what it reminds me of. I just hate when it's dark outside so early. Yeah, I do.
That's hate, Alex. That's hate. That's hate, Alex. You can't.
How is it hate?
Come on, bro. Because it's a Christmas song. It's not about daylight savings time. It's about Christmas and the spirit of Christmas. You like Christmas songs, don't you? You're telling me you hate all other Christmas songs?
I don't hate all of them. I just.
Oh, see, man,
I haven't been in the spirit in years. I'm not trying to be a Grinch. Like, I can't name the last time I was like, yeah, Christmas. I'm like, oh man, my pockets. And it's like, great. And the Ravens are in a playoff run and they play this big game at home. I'm like, all right, do I want to buy this gift or go to the game? And the game mostly always wins, to be honest.
Puts you in a conundrum. That's for sure.
It does.
Definitely puts you in a conundrum.
Maybe we'll get some nicer weather, hopefully. Because I can deal with it, but some of the winters we had, it's just too frigid cold. We're talking negatives, like real feel. You walk outside, and you just are already frozen.
Yeah.
That's just...
And I understand that too. But here in Texas, the winters ain't so bad. Okay, it's honestly like perfect weather. But I do wish we had some snow, though. I'm coming home soon, though. I'm coming home at the end of next month. So I'll get to experience that Maryland heat one more time in August. So
real quick, going back to Tez Walker, I kind of just want to, like, maybe let's say because you brought up a good point, like Tez Walker is he's not a priority for defenses to cover, and that's no disrespect, no slight. That's just not seeing a lot out of him. So you're in the red zone right now. Where does Tez Walker fall in players you're looking out for if you're going against the Ravens? Because you brought up, Zay, you brought up Bate, you brought up Andrews, you brought up Lamar, Derrick Henry. Like, he's falling down low on that list of guys you're worried about.
Yeah.
In between, from the 20-yard line on. So we're like, he's down there.
You're right. He's way, way down there. I mean, because like you mentioned, Zay, Mark, Derrick, I'd say Bate. That's 4 guys right there. I mean,
Lamar.
Of course, Lamar. That's 5. You literally cannot game plan. You don't have enough hours in the day, right? You have 1 week to prepare for the Ravens. You don't have enough hours in the day to say, okay, number 81, Tez Walker, we got to make sure we know where he is at all times. Make sure that 81 does not get behind us. You don't have enough hours in the day, Alex. Like that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. I can't wait to see it. Let me see here. So let's go ahead and move on past Tez Walker and into some of these tight ends, these rookie tight ends. Matthew Hibner, rookie tight end. He had a very quiet day one. I heard he had a couple of bobbles, a drop. It wasn't the best day one for Matthew Hibner. But Alex, I went live at like 5 a.m. today, and I was speaking on Matthew Hibner and his bad day one in training camp. And I was saying that like he's going to be somebody who I have like under a close magnifying glass in day 2, because I need to see one of these other rookie tight ends step up. I don't care if it's Cuevas. I don't care if it's Hibner. All I know is we're going to be running a hell of a lot of 12 personnel and 13 personnel, right? So we need another pass catching tight end on the field, another reliable pass catching tight end. So Matthew Hibner today, like I said, yesterday wasn't so good, but today he had a very, very good day. He had 5 catches. Okay. He made multiple contested catches, and he added an impressive one-handed catch as well. Okay. So this continues to build momentum for the tight end room. Listen, I didn't really see too many of the highlights for him. I saw some of his drills and things like that, but I couldn't be more excited for Matthew Hibner, Alex. I couldn't.
And I think it's good that he's able to have a bad practice and come back the next day and really show out. I think it says a lot about his character. And, he wasn't a first round, second round guy. What a day 3 guy. But it's all good to hear. And it's Lamar's best friend, the tight ends. If you can make these plays, if he can give it to you in a tight window and you come down with it and get some more yards, hell yeah, he's for it. And I do have a question. We're talking about Hibner. I believe Josh Cuevas had a nice catch as well, correct?
Yeah, Josh Cuevas, he caught a touchdown during red zone work
Okay.
over the middle, took it into the end zone. And so he continues to show his receiving ability as well. So it's going to be a battle to the finish, I think, for both of these tight ends, Matthew Hibner and Josh Cuevas, for who kind of gets that second tight end role. Because, of course, you have Durham Smythe, but he's supposed to be more of like a blocker. Maybe you have him in some backfield alignments and do some insert blocking, or maybe you even have him in line, but he's not really supposed to be the biggest pass catching threat, right? It's going to be either, of course, Mark Andrews, number 1, and then either Matthew Hibner or Josh Cuevas. So if I'm those 2 guys, I'm glaring across the field at one another like, hey, motherfucker, I'm taking you out. Okay, I'm gonna be the tight end 2 here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is for me. So I mean, I'm very encouraged by the news of Matthew Hibner and then also even Josh Cuevas today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad you brought him up too, Alex. Now let's move on to Elijah Surratt.
Mm-hmm.
Elijah Surratt, he also had a quiet day 1 in training camp. But day 2, he had a little bit of an uptick, a little bit more excitement from Elijah Surratt. He had a difficult sliding catch near the sideline, picked up a first down, and, with that, he continues to kind of flash. So it really seemed like day 2 of training camp was the day of the rookies, right? You got Jacoby Lane, you got Matthew Hibner, Josh Cuevas, even Elijah Surratt, right? They're all looking good, So, I mean, when it comes to Surratt and Lane, I think if you ask the most Ravens fans right now, they would say, hey, look, man, Jacoby Lane, that's it. That's what we need. Lamar Jackson, when he's in trouble and he needs somebody who he can just say, hey, look, like I said before, F it, Jacoby's down there somewhere, because he loves that. He loves that. There's been so many like F it, likely is down there somewhere. So many F it, Mandrews is down there somewhere type of throws from Lamar Jackson. So if you can get another guy who's capable of executing those type of plays, I think the sky's the limit for this Ravens offense. I truly do. Now, Alex, I want to get into Lamar Jackson. Before we transition to the defense, I want to get into Lamar Jackson and his some of his stats for today. He opened 11 on 11, period, completing his first 4 passes. He went 4 for 4. He worked heavily from under center.
Mm-hmm.
He connected early with Zay Flowers, Devontae Walker, and he looked comfortable operating Declan Doyle's offense. So the fact that Lamar Jackson is going to be under center a lot more, I think that's going to bode very well for this Ravens offense. Actually, me, Coach, and Chris from Deep Cover Podcast, we just talked about that yesterday over on Coach's channel, Sip to Tally. By the way, shout out to Coach. I saw him in the chat here earlier. I think that him being under center, it kind of opens up a lot more possibilities for this offense. But more importantly, it forces the defense to make a lot more choices in real time, right? Like you have to make a lot of decisions against an offense where if you guess wrong, you're going to be really, really wrong. And you can't like try to compensate and correct yourself because Lamar Jackson will not let that happen. If you know what I mean, if you catch my drift. So Lamar Jackson, he looked really good today. Real quick before I let you go, Alex, on Lamar and how dialed in he's been. Zay Flowers, he had a couple of catches today, but he did also have a crucial drop on a deep ball. I mean, the deep ball, he beat his guy up the sideline or something like that, and the ball just kind of bounced right off of his hands. He dropped it. You hate to see that. Hopefully, he gets that cleaned up. I'd rather see it now than in, September, but it is what it is. But what are your thoughts on Lamar Jackson's performance today overall?
The under center stuff really pops out to me because it feels like just not too long ago we were talking about how he can only play in certain offenses. The Ravens graduated from him. I know you remember that little report, that bogus saying, which is still
Bucky
blasphemous.
Brooks, right?
Bucky Brooks. He said we should draft Justin Fields over him.
Yeah. Yep.
No disrespect, no hate. He's now a backup in Kansas City throwing just picks right to linebackers. Saw that today.
Yikes.
That wasn't pretty.
Yikes.
That wasn't pretty. But back to the Baltimore Ravens. It's whatever you say he can't do, he ends up doing. And this whole under center thing, I just think it makes us a lot less predictable. Obviously, all due respect to Todd, 2023 was a great year, 24 great year, but last year it just felt like you kind of knew what we were going to do, and it got stale. It got to the point where we won against the Jets without 20 points. Like, we should be putting up 30 to 40 on the Jets. We're in dogfights with the Browns. I know it's a division, but we should be putting up more, especially us getting an amazing field position. We just didn't look good offensively last year. Obviously, Lamar was hurt, but now he looks happy. He feels happy. He, to me, is just like a player reborn. I know they said he looks even faster, which is crazy because I was told he got slower, how his legs aren't going to be a threat anymore. They don't have to be a threat. As long as he can, maybe buy some time, extend time, he's going to find somebody open downfield. And all credit to Declan Doyle. I think I've heard nothing but good things. I think every day I hear a new player talking about him that we haven't heard before. It was Roger Rosengard, and then it goes to Rashad Bateman, and then it goes to Ronnie Stanley, and then it goes to Lamar, and then it goes to Zay Flowers. With all due respect, I didn't hear this much, about other OCs, but that's different, obviously. I know he's a younger guy, maybe connects more, but it's really good to hear with Lamar. It does, and I kind of went into this later about Zay Flowers, but it's a big day for Zay today. Obviously the drop. Another receiver just got paid. Chris Olave. 33 a year. Zay.
Ooh.
Me personally, purple glasses off. I'm taking Zay over Olave 7 days out of 7. That's just me.
I am too.
That is just me.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like, all right, you catch that deep ball in an actual game, price keeps on going up. But we can get that later, but he'll get that cleaned up. It feels like everybody's had a drop or so these first 2 days. I know Mark Andrews had 2. Kind of worrying. Bateman had 1, but he obviously had a big play yesterday. And Zay has 1 today. So get the hiccups out the way in July. So come the regular season, it's out the way.
Facts. Before we move on to the defense here, 86 Ghost with the super chat donation. Thank you so much. 86 Ghost says at Sutton's favorite place, Chipotle. I don't know where you're getting that's my favorite
not like
place.
Chipotle?
86 Ghost. No.
Oh.
Not in the Big 26. What? Chipotle? No, bro. We're on Kava now. We're on Kava now. I just had Kava earlier today. Kava is leaps and bounds better than Chipotle. The ingredients are fresher, right? I mean, it's cleaner in there. They give you better portions. Chipotle is not good, bro. It's like the McDonald's of casual fast food now. I mean, it's just, but that's what happens to like huge food companies where they blow up so much they have to start mass producing. They know how much, not revenue, but how much traffic they're getting per day and stuff, and like it demeans the quality of the food. I haven't been in the Chipotle for a long time.
I had Kava once. I liked it a lot. I think that for me it depends what Chipotle, but I don't really go that much to have a set opinion on either, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean Chipotle, man. Not good. Void says Moe's over both in 4. I said it. And listen, Void, I ain't mad at you for that take. Because Moe's Southwestern Grill is like that. Especially if you get like their quesadillas, their stackers, their queso is really good. The case and see, here's my beef with Chipotle again. The queso at Chipotle is absolute garbage.
Yeah, it's probably just frozen.
It's horrible. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You don't get it, right?
I'm not paying extra for it. I'll tell you that right now. Why should I pay extra for it?
Even if it was free, I feel like you wouldn't get it. It's cold queso. Cold queso. It's not good. Okay? Huddle It Up Film says in the chat, says, you're getting bougie, so Chipotle is still good? No, it's not. And I'm not getting bougie, right? Because at the end of the day, Chipotle costs the same amount of money as Kava. Chipotle, they've been raising their prices for so long, to the point now where like they're price gouging, especially for the quality that you're getting. I can't get with it. 86 Go says queso is free at Qdoba. I've actually never tried Qdoba before.
Qdoba is good.
Never tried that.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I got to give it a shot one day. But okay, let's go ahead and move into the defense here for training camp. Alex, let's see who the movers and shakers were on the other side of the football. So number one, I want to go to Zion Young.
Yes.
Rookie. Zion Young is continuing his outstanding camp. He recorded another sack today and consistently was in the backfield. And Jesse Minter said it about him after practice. Say, hey, look, man, this guy is not just a run stopper. He's not just an edge setter. Okay? He's not just a loudmouth. He can get after your quarterback too. So that was encouraging to hear, knowing that, maybe there, and we, of course, again, I want to keep on putting this disclaimer out there, Alex. The pads are not on yet. So we really got to wait to see when the pads are on, like what these guys do. But in the meantime, in between time, this is all we have to go off of. And this looks like Zion Young is explosive. He wants to be there. He's soaking everything up like a sponge. I think Pernell McPhee was there today. I saw him talking to Zion Young. That's huge. What are your thoughts on Zion so far?
He's going to make himself give these coaches a headache, I'd say, the first couple of weeks. Because I know they want to kind of just maybe not throw him into the fire. But if you keep on giving performances like this in practice, in preseason, it's like, all right, we got to get this guy some snaps. Come week 1, come week 2, come week 3. You can't keep him on the bench and have him come in situations where maybe the game's already over. You got to give him meaningful snaps. A would-be sack, making his presence felt. That's what we're asking for. He's going to let you know how he feels about it. Is now where does he lie with your Mike Greens, obviously Tavius Robinson, Trey Hendrickson? Like if it's maybe obvious rushing down, maybe you throw Tavius and Zion Young on there. I'm not too sure, but it's like I want to see my $100 million edge rusher also on the field as well. But if they like what they have out there, I'm fine with it. I mean, I trust Jesse Minter. That's a very smart footballing mind. Anthony Weaver, a very smart footballing mind, and nobody better than Anthony Weaver, I feel like, to evaluate as Zion Young. So if he likes it, I'm with it too. But it's day 2 and we're already hearing Zion Young's name. I think it makes sense why the coaches and everybody was so happy why he fell. Because they think he could be an immediate impact. And we're less than 2 hours of practice time in to training camp, and he's already made some plays. It's looking good for him. Now, there's a lot more to go when the pads come on. We have joint practices. But I feel like this is kind of why we were hyping him up over the offseason, after he got drafted, because of things like this, plays like this. Eventually, it'll turn over into a regular season, hopefully postseason. Zion Young, keep on feeding it to me. I'm taking it all in.
For sure. Definitely. Now, what I want to ask is this.
Okay.
There's another outside backer who has been kind of showing up in training camp. His name is Tavius Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a guy who I told you last week, Alex, that I think that he is going to, at the very least, start the season with the most snaps opposite Trey Hendrickson because of his ability to basically do everything, at that position. And today, he won multiple pass rush reps, and he continues to generate pressure pretty much nearly every day of the training camp, which I know it's only been 2 days, but he's one of those guys who's stacking days. And that's important. He's stacking days. So Tavius Robinson, I think, is going to be one of the biggest sleepers on this Ravens team this year. And I also can't wait to see what he brings to the table. Because, I mean, I've always said this, like, he's good at a lot of things, but he's great at really nothing, So maybe he just kind of elevates his game all around, and he's just kind of like that guy that you can have on as like a 3-down outside backer, right? That would be glorious. That'd be beautiful especially when we need him to be able to do those sort of things. But there's just so much versatility, Alex, on this defense, when it comes to skill sets like Tavius Robinson, again, jack of all trades, master of none. Zion Young, he's more of like an inside power guy, but can also use that power outside, stopping the run, setting the edge, things like that. But it's also flirting with being able to rush the passer. You have Trey Hendrickson, who's like purely a pass rush specialist, right? And then Mike Green, who's pretty much the same thing, but Mike Green is kind of panning out himself into being a well-rounded player too. So listen, man, with all of I said this yesterday on Coach's channel, like Jesse Minter is going to be able to make this defense very chameleonic. in the sense that, they can look one way on one down, and then the next down, when they swap out some players, they can look totally different. And that's going to leave the offense in a bind. They're not going to know what to do. By the way, before we move on, we have 160 people watching this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast live. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for coming through. Please be sure to leave a like on the video if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel as well. And if you're watching over on the good old X, make sure you give us a follow. Me at Sutton Def, my guy Simply over at Simply AS10. Okay. Also, really quick, Alex, you had Kamon Rucker, another outside backer. He beat the tackle around the edge today and finished with a sack. So shout out to Kamon Rucker. Let's see if he can put some things together in the preseason. You also had Broderick Washington, who recorded a sack today. And the interior defensive line as a whole created consistent pressure. Again, no pads, so take it with a grain of salt. I cannot wait. You know when the pads come on, Alex? When
I think tomorrow.
Really?
They got to be on for Saturday. They have got to be on for the open practice at UMD. You can't go to UMD and open practice with a full stadium. It's sold out without pads. They got to come on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. All right. So, I mean, look. Go ahead.
I want to touch on Tavius Robinson real quick. You brought him up.
Sure.
4.5 sacks in 11 games last year. Forced someone Joe Flacco, sacked Patrick Mahomes, Malik Willis, Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers. All were at the time big games for us. He's a guy where I feel like if you don't sign him before the season, he's going to play himself out of a contract in Baltimore. I think he's going to his 4th contract year. How many times have we seen guys like him have career years? Even if it's 7 sacks, 6.5 sacks, he'll get picked up and get paid good money by a different team. I would love to keep Tavius. He feels like a true Raven. Like you said, he's a jack of all trades, but like he'll get it done. People may not know him. I like that. I like the other team not knowing. It's like, oh, where'd this guy 95 come from? That's fine. But for me, you have got to extend Tavius, I think, before the season. Because I don't want to play him out of his price range. Like even Travis Jones, we signed him at the right time. Because you let Travis Jones hit the open market right now, look at some of the contracts DTs we're getting. After that comp pick, I want to keep Tavius Robinson. That was just my pitch for EDT to just sign him. Because he's got to be in black and purple for the next 3 to 4 years.
That's a fact. That is a fact, Alex. I'm going to clip that and put it online because you just spoke the gospel right there. We definitely need to lock down Tavius Robinson. But I do think that the Ravens are kind of waiting. They're kind of biding their time, waiting, because I think they know that. But I think they're waiting and seeing like, okay, is Mike Green going to develop into a player who can do it all, but then specialize in getting after the quarterback on third downs? Like, I think if they get that, they're going to be like, okay, Tavius, we really appreciate you, but much like I've been saying before, you're a jack of all trades, master of none. And for that reason, you're a bit more expendable than a guy who we can just trust on 3rd and long to pin his ears back, beat the tackle, and get after the quarterback. So we'll see. I think you make a very valid point there, Alex, but I think it really comes down to Mike Green as the catalyst as to whether or not Tavius Robinson ends up getting paid this season. So
what if we extend him until Mike Green's still on a rookie contract?
Yeah.
So we have Mike Green for 3 more years, maybe a 2-year extension, and then when the time comes, it's like, all right, well, who deserves it more? That's why I'm like, maybe a 2 to 3 year deal, and then you can kind of evaluate from there. But I feel like I want us to stop, drafting edge rushers. I want to have our guys. Maybe you can draft one day 2 late or day 3, but it feels like that first round is always like, well, the Ravens could use the edge here. I'm sick of that. I want to just have it so we know what we want to get, because it's like the same positions every year. It feels like are always in need: receiver, edge, defensive back. Always hear those 3. But I'm done with my spiel. On to the other guys.
For sure. No, that was a great spiel too. I mean, I love the fact that you brought that up. So also we had some interceptions today. One came from Cheeto Awuzie intercepting Tyler Huntley, and that came when Devontae Walker, like you mentioned earlier, he slipped on a route, and Cheeto Awuzie took advantage of that and came up with the interception. Tyler Huntley threw another interception on the very next play to Keandre Jackson, an over-the-middle pass where Tyler Huntley tried to throw it off of his back foot. He was backing up, he was fading away, tried to throw it, and Keandre Jackson stepped in front of it and got the interception. So I said that also this morning on my morning stream. Alex, I said that I'm looking for this defense to start to take away the ball. I know you can't force fumbles at this point in training camp unless it's like a super unforced error. But you can read quarterbacks. You can, jump passing lanes, things like that. Get your hands on the ball and turn it over that way. So love seeing that from Cheeto Awuzie and Keandre Jackson. Outside of that, Alex, I think that was pretty much it. We didn't get any real major special teams developments, at least not that I know of. I don't know if you know of any, but I didn't see any of that. Uh, but the biggest
Now,
things of the biggest things from today were Jacoby Lane, obviously, Lamar Jackson dialed in, completely locked in. Travis Jones and John Jenkins, they are progressing towards returning next week. Neither of them practiced today, but Jesse Minter also said, again, like I said before, they are looking to be practicing by the end of next week. So we'll be looking forward to seeing them. And then also in the interview highlights, you had Roquan Smith saying things like, the leadership starts with leading by example. Of course, a little cookie cutter, but okay. Roquan says doesn't view himself as simply being a vocal leader, but we'll see. Okay, Roquan
mhm.
again. Wants to earn leadership through preparation and performance. Okay, Roquan. And likes the direction of Jesse Minter's defense. Okay, Roquan. Kyle Hamilton, anybody?
Mhm.
Kyle Hamilton called Jesse Minter's transition seamless, said the defense is not being completely rebuilt, which is big for me, Alex. I love the fact that it's not like a complete overhaul. It feels like there's more of an overhaul on offense than there is on
Right.
defense. Every time you hear these offensive players speak at the podium, they're like, oh, there's just so much. Zay Flowers said today, like, there's just so much verbiage and the concepts. Like, it's a lot to learn. Like, I got to go home and study. Lamar Jackson has it all down packed. I don't know how he does. I got to go home and study this stuff. But everybody on the defense is like, yeah, it's different, but it's not that different at the same time. Because the Ravens, they already had an identity of like being a very strong defensive team. There just needed to be a couple of tweaks, you know? So there was that. And then also, Kyle Hamilton said Declan Doyle's offense has a lot of explosiveness, which is cool to see. But that was pretty much it from the interviews. Did you take anything from the interviews? Did you see any, Alex?
Yeah, I did, and kind of what you talked about with the defense.
Hmm.
Think of the additions on defense. It's Trey Hendrickson,
Yeah.
and then rookies, and then Calais Campbell, but he's been here before. He's worked with Anthony Weaver. I'm pretty sure. It's like, all right, well, outside of that, we already had the guys. We brought back Awuzie. We drafted Zion Young. We drafted a couple other guys, but that offense, I'm looking at it, like you said, like we lost what? Likely, D Hop. Our whole O line is revamped right now. You have a new running back in Adam Randall. So yeah, a whole new tight end room. And then as for, obviously gonna be a lot of studying, but it's with Declan Doyle, man. I just can't talk about him enough. I gotta make a video about him because everything you've heard about him has just been just interesting verbiage. I'd say the way they describe him.
Yeah.
Nobody's describing him. It's all the connected, how he wants the office to be connected. But yeah, and then on to what we heard, Roquan, I kind of just in one ear out the other. He frustrates me. He does because the less talking. Like I said, brother, you are the biggest talker. But show me something different this year. Kyle Hamilton, I don't know what Jesse Minter has dialed up his sleeve for him. I really don't, but I just can't wait for week one. And I feel like Zay Flowers today really stuck out to me because he said he had to, show these coaches what he's about, whole new coaching staff, and getting the next level. I'm like, Zay, what's the next level for you? Because as Ravens fans, we've never seen a receiver like you, that being a Pro Bowl wide receiver, back to back 1,000-yard receiver. So is the next level maybe? Listen, I know this is crazy. Are you trying to get double-digit touchdowns, Zay? Is that the next level for you?
Ooh, that's what I need.
Because we've
Yeah.
seen the 1K. I'm not expecting a 2,000, 16, 1,700-yard receiver. I'm really not. You give me 1,200 and 7, 8 touchdowns, brother. I'm propping you up with the craziest propaganda. Believe that. Believe that. But I'm
Yeah.
interested though, Zay. Like, what's the next level for you? What does that constitute? And now I see you're about to pull it up. You're in a contract year. You have a contract coming up. I'm sorry. And you see Chris Olave get 4 years, 132 million.
Yep.
He had a big year last year with 100 catches, 1,100 yards, and 9 touchdowns, all career highs. Zay, how will you respond? Like I said, I'm
It,
picking Zay over Olave any day of the week.
yeah. Yeah. I would love to say, Zay, you have 48 hours to respond or like 24 hours to respond, but I know it's going to take like, maybe like, a couple months to see what he's got. But 33 mil a year, that is, because where does that rank currently now, Alex? That's like, it's got to be top six, right? Six or
Let's take a
seven?
look here. Wide receiver contracts.
Yeah.
6. He is 6.
Six.
In value, that is. In average, he is
Yeah, I see it down here on Onyx odds.
7th. 7th in average.
Okay, 7th in average. Okay, got you. So, I mean, I think if you're Zay Flowers and you have a good season, you're looking to at least crack that top 5. No,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
easily,
And
easily.
that puts you at 34 million. So CD's right now 5th at 34 million. And you have Justin Jefferson making 35, Drake London making 35.2, Jamar 40.2, and then JSN 42.1.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it, but I do need to see those touchdowns. That's my only thing. I need to see those touchdowns. Point blank. Period. Alex, let's go ahead and move into some other NFL around the league news. You had Panthers 3rd round rookie wide receiver Chris Braswell II, who's going to miss the entire 2026 NFL season with a knee he suffered this week. The team determined this was the best course of action for his long-term health. Chris Braswell II was a guy who was mocked to the Ravens in a lot of mock drafts, Alex. So for him to, go on the Panthers and supposed to be backing up Tet McMillan, Jalen Coker, and now it's just Tet McMillan and Jalen Coker there. Yeah. What do you think this means for the Panthers, man?
Boy, Xavier Legette, you better step up, or you will have a Cam Newton edit coming your way. Believe that will be next on his list. But I feel for the Panthers because that's now 2 young guys with a lot of potential who are out within a week with season enders. And it's like, are they the team that's cursed? I mean, they made the playoffs last year. Granted, they snuck in, but they gave the Rams hell. They had the lead with less than 2 minutes left. And, the Rams and Matt Stafford, a future Hall of Famer, drives on the field, scores, and they win. The future is very bright for the Panthers. And to see 2 guys like this go down, you hate to see it, especially in a division like that, which is so close. Because it's anybody's division, even more so now. It's the worst thing, man, especially his rookie year, young. I just hope he can come back healthy, and I'm glad the team, this is the best course for his career. So, a red shirt, basically, rookie year, come back next year. But, man, I feel for the young man.
I do too. Why do I see somebody named Bait Hater in the chat? That is insane. There's no bait hate here. I mean, not after what we've seen so far out of training camp. Listen, man, if you're a Rashad Bateman hater at this point in the big July 30th of 2026, like, I got news.
There's so many other players you can hate on.
Exactly.
There's so many others.
Man. Hang it up, dog. What are we talking about? Y'all all in the book anyway. Anywho's, that is Chris Braswell II. Unfortunate for him. Again, we feel for him. That's tough. I mean, you're thinking you're about to go into your first NFL season, and that happens. I couldn't imagine. Other news around the league, Alex. Let me look through here. Oh, there was this here. Let me go ahead and bring this up on screen. How about some Tampa Bay Buccaneers Baker Mayfield news? Right, says he felt disrespected and undervalued by the contract offers he received from the Bucs. He believes he's a franchise quarterback, says he's going to have a big year and that the team is going to pay for it in the end. Here's everything Mayfield said. He was very upfront and honest. Now, this is like a 4-minute clip, so I'm not going to play it, but you guys get the gist here. Baker Mayfield, he's not holding out. He's playing, right? But he felt like he was disrespected by the Bucs. Now, Alex, I want to toss it to you on this one. Do you think that Baker is truly a franchise quarterback and is deserving of top of the market money?
Top of the market money, no. But I'm on Baker's side on this one. I am. I think he brought stability to them. I think he had them playing good ball. I don't think it's his fault they got dealt with some unfortunate words. I think their coaching was lackluster. Their defense needed to be revamped. And it feels like he's kind of getting the blame for all of that. I saw they gave him a 2-year contract extension. Yeah, that's not it. I think in that division, Baker gives you the best chance to win your division. And who knows what can happen. So yeah, I'm on Team Baker on this one. I think he was definitely, worthy of a 3 to 4 year deal. Not sure, how much. Definitely not top of the market money, but we saw what Malik Willis got. I think maybe more than him. But yeah, Baker, I'm on your side for this one. The Buccaneers, they might be regretting this one in the end because teams will overpay for a quarterback. We saw Malik Willis; he had 2 good games, one against the Zach Gore defense, and got paid a lot of money. So best believe Baker can have an above average season; he'll get a lot of money as well.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, Alex, I mean, number one quarterbacks, like franchise quarterbacks, they don't just fall off of trees. Okay, they just don't. If they did, then like most of these guys who are getting drafted would end up being franchise guys, which would mean everyone would probably have a franchise quarterback. But that's just not the case because to be this good at that position at this level, it's a rarity. Okay, so I think that they should stick with Baker Mayfield. They should give him his money. Again, I don't know if you watched that Netflix quarterback special that came out a couple weeks ago, but they feature Baker in it. I know I talked to you about it maybe in the last episode, but like that dude, he fights and he fights hard. He fights hard as hell. And I'm proud of Baker, honestly. He's got a little bit of a hubris about him that I don't really like, but I still think he's a damn good player and he's tough as nails. So Baker Mayfield, you deserve to get paid. I just don't know if it's going to be in Tampa, but we'll see. We'll see. He's going to have to show out this year.
Yeah. I pulled up his stats real quick.
Mm-hmm.
He put up 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. 16, I'm sorry, in 2024 on 71.4% completion percentage.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And I'm seeing the way Lamar, I'm not comparing the two, but you're judging the guy off his most recent season, which a lot went against him, much like Lamar last year. Look at the year right before. People forget about that year, what you just did. Lamar 41-4, Baker 41-16 with 4,500 yards. I feel you, Baker. I get it.
Yeah, man.
I get it.
How soon they forget. All right, moving on. So in division, right, you had the Cincinnati Bengals, Shamar Stewart, yesterday. Had a very bad I-word scare. You guys can kind of see it right here. Look at the way his knee goes. It doesn't look pretty at all. And there was a lot of speculation after that happened because he was carted off the field and some more stuff. They thought that he was going to miss some time. Okay, they thought he was going to miss some time. However, reports came out today, a little update. This one's coming from Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport. Says Bengals edge Shamar Stewart, who was carted off yesterday after a scary-looking knee I-word, suffered just a hyperextended knee, and he will have treatment. The belief is no ligament damage for Stewart. "Quote unquote, he's good," one source said. So it's looking like he was a first round pick last year, right, Alex?
Correct. He was the one who was holding out. Yeah.
But, so Shamar Stewart is looking like he's going to be able to play. Luck, some guys are luckier than others. Like we just talked about Chris Brazzell, the second, who he's going to miss the entire season, which again, tragic for him. Hate to see that. Shamar Stewart is looking like he's going to bounce back. He's in division, but I still do think that he's going to get locked down from either Roger Rosengarten or Ronnie Stanley. Take your pick. Take your pick, Shamar. It ain't happening over here. Okay. It ain't happening.
Dealer's choice, Shamar. But yeah, best case for them, you don't want to see anybody, go down at all.
Right.
Division or not. That's just kind of the humanity aspect of it. Looked a lot worse. I mean, it looked bad. And the fact it's not as serious as it could have been, good for them. But it's funny. You brought the video up. I thought you were about to show the Jamar Chase thing. That's why I was laughing. I'm still not getting over that. Like your star receiver ripping off somebody's helmet and just chucking it to wherever. I don't know, man. Maybe,
no worries.
Yeah, thank you. I just need to see this one more time. Here you go. Jamar Chase, best receiver in the league.
What are we doing?
I'll take the helmet and I'll just Kareem hookshot it. I'll let you know about it afterwards as well.
Yeah, I'm the best player on the team. I should be leading by example, right? This is a brand new year. I've got an example to set for all of the young players on this team, all of the newly acquired players on this team. Yeah, it's going to take a ball boy or an assistant coach to kind of drag me off of the guy. It's like, what are we doing? Like, where is the maturity at? Is there just all out anarchy already in Cincinnati? Now, I will say this on the other side of it. Look, it is the first day of training camp. You got a lot of guys who've been itching and scratching to get back to football for a long time. Get those jerseys back on, get those helmets back on, and get back in that mode. Maybe this is just what that is. I can understand that, right? When you're a player, there's a lot of testosterone out there with a lot of these guys, and you want to get back in that mode. And you just sometimes you fight with your brothers, so that way when you go into battle, he's got your back, you got his, because you've been there before with each other. So from that aspect, I understand. I just don't like Jamar Chase being the one to set it off like that and then tossing the helmet. It's just kind of disrespectful. And I said this yesterday on Quiet Storm. I just know right here what we're looking at was just some like real nasty stuff said by Jamar Chase. Mm-hmm. Jamar Chase, he looks like he's got a terrible mouth, like a terribly disrespectful mouth. Okay, it just is what it is. But more power to them for doing this. More power to them for doing this. I don't give a damn. Honest with you, you're not gonna catch me giving a damn about anything the Bengals have going on. But yeah, go ahead.
Could you imagine being the editor for the mic'd up for the NFL? Like the pure, raw, uncut, mic'd up. I would kill to hear some of the stuff that is being said in between those lines.
Same.
We only see the edited stuff, the bleeped out, cut out. Especially Jamar mic'd up against like a Jalen Ramsey back a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Would pay good money for that.
Good money. All right, Alex, let's go ahead and move along here to our last topic of the show, which is these Madden rankings. Yeah, some new Madden rankings come out. I covered them a little bit yesterday on the show on Quiet Storm. We looked at some of the offensive rankings. Right now, we're going to look at some of these defensive rankings, starting with the top 10 cornerbacks rated on Madden 27. Number 1 was Christian Gonzalez at a number 98. PS2, Patrick Surtain II, 97. Trent McDuffie, 94. Denzel Ward, 93. Derek Stingley Jr., 92. Devon Witherspoon, 91. Jalen Johnson, 90. Sauce Gardner, 90. Kenyon Mitchell, 89. And then Cooper DeJean also at an 89. So 2 Eagles players back-to-back at 9 and 10 there. Do you agree with that ranking, Alex? I think I like that.
I'm putting PS2.
Over Christian. I was gonna say that too.
Yeah. I think it's crazy. Sauce's PR ever since he left the Jets, man, has kind of gone downhill. But I guess that's the New York mainstream. And then I'm cool with everything else though. I like Ward Stingley. I think the top 5 is good. You can always mix and match, but I'm not mad at this at all, actually.
Yeah, I'm really not mad at it either. Let's go ahead and move on to the linebackers. So you got Fred Warner. Coming in at number 1, he had a 97. Roquan Smith, a 93. Zach Bond, a 92. Demario Davis, a 90. Drew Tranquil, 89. Bobby Wagner, 89. Jack Campbell, 87. Dre Greenlaw, 87. Devin Bush, 86. And Devin Lloyd, 86. So with this one here, Roquan at a 93. 4 ratings behind, or 4 points behind Fred Warner. Do you think that Roquan is too high here, Alex?
I do, but this might be a hot take. Mm-hmm. The linebacking position has fallen off talent-wise. And listen, this is no disrespect. Devin Bush was a bust with the Steelers.
Yeah, he was.
He was running special teams with the Browns. Top 10?
Yeah.
Like we went, like think about what we grew up watching linebacker wise. We were spoiled.
Yeah.
Spoiled big time. Like, we had Urlacher, Willis, obviously Ray. Mm-hmm. I mean, we had some dogs, and now we're talking about some Devin Bush.
Drew
Bush, Tranquil.
Man.
It's
the Devin Bush for me. I'd have to, and he must have had a phenomenal year last season with the Bears. I mean, had to have been top 5 in tackles or something, because like what?
He was with the Browns last year. He had 3 picks, 2 sacks. He had 2 pick sixes. One of them was a ricochet, I think, off of Keaton Mitchell's noggin. He took back for a pick 6. Played in 17 games, 2 forced fumbles.
It's those. That's what it is right there. It's the 2 pick sixes that are getting him
Yeah.
this ranking. It has to be. But that doesn't make any sense because how do you quantify that in Madden ratings? That's what I don't get, you know. But I do want to move on here, Alex. Let's go ahead and get into the
Yeah.
next one. Top 10 edge rushers. So you have Myles Garrett, of course, 99 overall at number 1. Micah Parsons at a 98, which I think is just a scotch too high for Micah Parsons. I would have put him on the same plane as Max Crosby, who's at number 3 at 97. Then you have Will Anderson Jr. at a 95. Maybe he should be a 96 because Will Anderson Jr. He's a dog. Nick Bosa at a 94. Aiden Hutchinson 93. TJ Watt 93. Daniil Hunter 92. Nick Benito 91. And then Ravens Trey Hendrickson at 90, coming in at number 10. I'm not terribly mad at this list. What about you, Alex?
I'll put Daniil Hunter over Nick Bosa. The best ability is availability.
Availability, yeah.
Yeah. Daniil Hunter, I feel like, is so underrated. This guy just produces nonstop.
And maybe TJ Watt deserves to get bumped down a notch to maybe like a 91 himself, especially after last season.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could see that.
But if you have Roquan at a 93, I can get TJ Watt at a 93. I get it. But
yeah,
Daniil Hunter should be a little bit higher up. Nick Bosa should be down. Whatever you dock Nick Bosa by 2 and give that to Daniil Hunter. So swap them, and the Texans have themselves a defense.
They do.
Seeing these, man.
It's going to be crazy. Their defense is going to be elite. Let me see. Super chat donation in the. Oh my goodness, man. At Bait Be Gone is crazy. That's wild. I'm dropping the 2-piece in the chat. Thank you so much. BBG. That's just what I'm gonna call you. Hot take. Owe will be there in Madden 28. Hey man, I mean, there is a possibility. There is a world where Odafe Owe builds on what he did last year in LA, now in Washington. There's a world where he does that, but he would have to go absolutely nuclear. I'm talking like 15 plus sacks, 15 plus, and then he could probably grace the top 10 on this top 10 edge rushers list. Thank you so much, BBG, for the super chat donation. Not going to read out that full name. I refuse. Let's move on here. Top 10 defensive tackles. Derek Brown from the Carolina Panthers coming in at number 1 with a 96 overall. You have Jeffrey Simmons, 95. Cam Hayward, 95. Chris Jones, 94. Vita Vea, who's requested a trade most recently, 94. Sexy Dexy, 93. Quinnen Williams, 92. DeForest Buckner, 91. Ravens Nnamdi Madubuike at a 90. And Jalen Carter clocking in at 10 at an 89. I think Jalen Carter deserves to be higher, no?
I'm backing you on that one.
Yeah.
I think Quinnen Williams should be ahead of Dexter Lawrence. That's not even AFC North bias. That is, I like Quinnen Williams.
What did he have, like a half a sack last year? Something like that?
Yeah.
Some crazy.
I don't think he had a sack at all, Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah.
Quinnen and Jalen Carter should be higher on this list for sure.
Agreed. And hopefully Nnamdi Madubuike, when he gets back, hopefully we're getting an 80 to 90% or above Nnamdi Madubuike, because I want him to continue to ascend as well. Okay. Let's see. Top 10 safeties. Number 1, Jesse Bates III at 94 overall. Antoine Winfield Jr. at 93 overall. Derwin James, 93 overall. Kyle Hamilton, Raven safety, at 92 overall. Xavier McKinney at 92 as well. Kirby Joseph at a 91. Brian Branch at a 91. Budda Baker at a 90. Jalen Ramsey at a 90. And Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's getting this Lifetime Achievement Award, right, at 89. What are you thinking about this list, man? Because Kyle Hamilton, there's no way he deserves to be 4th on this list. But I can tell you why, but I want to get your take first.
Yeah. I think they're basing just off the safety play, which, okay, that's cool. Take this, crumble it up, throw it away. Respect to these guys, but pure football player, Hamilton he's up there. Now, maybe if pure, just talking pure football, obviously, but for safety, I see why maybe S4 doesn't get the picks that you want him to do. Doesn't play deep. He can't play deep, but we put him close to the line of scrimmage. That's cool and all, but like you said, Minkah Fitzpatrick. He was traded for a half-eaten bag of Lay's potato chips last year.
Yeah.
89 overall.
Yeah. 89. I don't. And here's my thing. I think what they're really saying here is that, like, hey, look, we don't quantify here at Electronic Arts, aka EA. We don't quantify how versatile you are as a safety. We don't quantify you being able to line up as a linebacker, as a nickel, as an edge rusher, right? Blitzer. We don't quantify that, right? We just want to know, hey, how fast are you? How good are your hands? You know what I mean? Like your awareness, right? Maybe that kind of goes into it a little bit, but he's a jack of all trades who I don't know what it's going to take. Maybe it's just going to be a few more interceptions, Alex. Maybe it's just going to be a few more forced turnovers before they finally put some respect on Kyle Hamilton's name and give him higher than the damn, what is it? 92. That's disrespectful.
92.
That's disrespectful because if you ask
92.
anybody, any coach or GM executive in this league, and they ask you to name, hey, look, who are the top 3 safeties in this league? Kyle Hamilton will always make that list. He'll always make that list. Let me see. We have a super chat donation from BBG again. I saw BBG put something in the chat, says either Sutton is drunk or fresh off of a Bateman glaze. He's shiny. That's crazy. That's crazy. He's throwing shots. It's all good though. All good. You're going to see when the season comes. By the way, no, I'm not drunk. I've just done my skincare today. All right. Maybe you should try it. Bait hater. What are you talking about? Oh, there's 2. There's a bait be gone
There's
and
2,
a bait hater.
yeah.
Oh my.
Bait be gone and bait hater.
Where the mods when you need them? Oh, I forgot the mods are on their side. They're on their side. The mods are bait haters too. I got to get a bait supporting mod. If you are a bait supporter in the chat, let me know in the comments so I don't miss it, so I can make you a moderator. I need somebody to make things right here at PRP because we're not going to keep doing this. Here we go though. Let me go to the next one. I think that was it actually. I think that was it. You had the offensive ratings, which I covered yesterday, Alex. Now, the offensive ratings were, I wasn't really mad at them. If I can find them, Jesus.
Thank you, the man, for the jewels.
Yeah, thank you. Let me see here. Can't even find them. My damn Twitter bookmarks are all over the place. Anyways, who cares about those? We covered them yesterday on the show. If you want to see that, make sure you go ahead and check out the last episode of Quiet Storm Sports. Anyways, Alex, we got to go ahead and get out of here. We're about an hour and a half in. I think we pretty much covered everything here on this episode, as we have over 180 people watching live right now. Thank you guys so much. As a matter of fact, clap it up for yourselves for the one time. Clap it up for yourselves. Thank y'all so much for coming through to this episode 428 of the Purple Rain Podcast. Guess what? Training camp is back. And we will keep pushing out this content here on this channel. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Become a member if you're feeling froggy and want to support the channel a little bit extra. But of course, as always, like the video. It's free. Replay gang, hype the video. It's free. Helps us out a ton. Alex, it's been great. It's been a pleasure. Got anything else for me, or are you ready to take us out?
I think that is it. We got camp tomorrow. We got the joint practice on Saturday, which would be a jam-packed day of just 2 hours. I think it's going to be televised too. I think they'll have the stream up on YouTube. So for people like me and you, we finally get to see this team in action and not rely on videos on Twitter. We can watch it, our own 2 eyes. Think that is it though. So in the meantime, have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe. And as always, stay positive and test negative.
As always, yes, stay positive, test negative, but never ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God. And always listen, remember, may purple rain. Peace.